Well, welcome back. What do we have here? But a couple of, well, ratty looking pieces of junk, I guess, but interesting. Rockland. 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 What is that? Oh, wait. Wait, there's two of them. Oh, what do you know? Two and a few parts. Well, turns out that these are a couple of Thomas Industries 280 mechanisms with some major modifications. If you go back to the April 1950, looky there, free Lance. I don't know who this Lance guy was, but evidently he was cheap. Let's see. Zip, zip, kabang. How interesting is that? You find a couple of clunky old locos, or even just one, and then miraculously, somebody says, "Hey, I've seen those before." Oh, there's an article in April 1950 model railroader, and by George, there sure as heck is. And so it turns out Rockland was a model railroad built by a couple of guys. These guys, Arthur T. Robb and Roger Ramsdale Jr., it looks like. And so it was an outside third rail layout. And sorry for the shading here with my crappy lighting. But basically, this little article kind of details how these guys built these two locos. Now you will see, again, this is 1950 and we're in 2025, right? So 75 years ago. Here's my number 70. Let's see. There you go. Oh boy, that's terrible, isn't it? Looky there. Oh, there we go, 70. And you'll notice that somebody's added some decal stripes, but the original Rockland is still there. And you see here there's some little decorative striping that's done. And you can see where the little paper was, it's like somebody's painted over that. So the original Rockland's still there, and somebody's painted over the other stuff and then added the stripes. And then so my other loco here is number 75, okay? And you can see, oh boy, I'm not real good at that. You can see, of course, that's matching what we've got right there, okay? And of course, so what this was they built one loco representing about 1900, another representing about 1880. And of course, the number 70 is the 1880 loco. Now you can see over the years she's had some modifications. Headlights been modified on this loco, okay? A few other little things. So the question will be, what do I want to do with it? I don't want to, sure as heck don't want to destroy it, right? And of course the same problem with the other loco, the number 75. You can see here I've got slide valve cylinders that have been modified, and here it still has the original cylinders. And I've got some of the cow catcher parts, one of which looks the same or similar, and the other one which doesn't. Now there's more to this story. So the rest of the article talks about how they built these, right? So these guys built up the entire boiler superstructure out of sheet tin. So basically they bought a mechanism and they built the rest, to their own taste. Typical of what modelers would have done back then. And you can see right here where they're cutting up the standard piston valve cylinders that would come with the kit. Here's how they built the cow catchers and so forth. So really neat little article. And what's really cool about this is I discovered that if you go, oops, let me try and tear my articles up here. A couple months later, here's an article from the same lads describing how they built their headlights. Now you can see, actually, part of at least one of these guys is still alive. And you'll also notice that this is number 70 that we're looking at here. And once again, in the 75 years, it's been modified from the original type of mounting, which was kind of the ornate, kind of out in front of the boiler, firebox mount. But anyway, they talk about several different ways that they put these together. And then you wonder, well, crap, they must have had a neat little railroad. Well, sure they did. A couple of months later, there's an article in Model Railroader from the same fellas describing their layout. And that's showing, again, sorry for the poor lighting, showing one of their other modified locomotives. A little bit of their layout, looks like 36-inch radius curves and so forth. And here we have a track plan. It wasn't too big, it's only like 11 by 14, but it goes through all their locomotives that they've had. It's outside third rail, talks about some of the cars and so forth. It's like even, what is it? The funny thing I noticed, they even built one loco, a scale 440 from an Alexander kit. So there's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of circle and back, a lot of interesting little nuggets with all these little things. And so now, of course, what am I going to do? I'm going to be looking through, the next year or two's worth of Model Railroad, seeing if I can find any more articles from these guys on the railroad or any of their other locomotives and so forth. And trick secret, I know there's some more out there, and so gotta get a hold of those. And of course, then also I've got to decide how I want to save these, right? So the big challenge is always, you don't want to just strip all this stuff off and do whatever. It's really neat to find, it's one thing to find an old junky loco somebody built 50, 75 years ago, but it's another thing entirely to find several articles documenting very clearly what was done and how it was done, and about the whole railroad system that they had. So that'll be the next part of the process. So we'll see. Maybe there'll be some follow-up videos cleaning these up and getting them back in shape, and seeing how close I try and put them back, whether it's towards the original build status, if I find out that there's some mods that were done along the way and so forth. So anyway, if you like old trains, like and subscribe. Thank you.